Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round 2 of the Formula Challenge season in 2021. We're here in Bahrain for 14-lap races, and I'm joined once again by Menno, Klont and Szymon Frelik on camera.
Hello, Josh. Well, it's good to be here. Yesterday I was in Thailand, and I'm in Bahrain, so I'm really happy to be here for the second round of the Formula Challenge, like you said, and looking forward to 2 nice races today, and let's see what it will bring. I think practice already showed it was quite interesting at the top position, so I'm as always looking forward to it.
Yes, definitely. There's been a few changes with the team for this round. We've got quite a few drivers moving about or just not competing anymore. We've got Thunderdog. I've had a completely changed lineup with Dylan Platt and Mateusz Kozlowski. We've had Chris Gitzoff replacing Guillaume Branton at Valet Esports because Guillaume Branton himself has moved to Abstinio Force Polonia to replace Ernest Lapis, who has decided not to carry on with the season. We've got Maximilian Junger replacing Caitlin Penny at Nova Finlandia, and Fabian Roof replacing David Krupa at Team Frelik. So quite a lot of changes. See, what do you think that will do for kind of the results? Are there any of the drivers that will probably kind of get involved straight away and give us a bit of a shake-up?
Yeah, it's a very interesting with all the changes already after one round. But I think some of the changes are really interesting. Well, we just started the qualifying session, by the way. Now, I think Thunderdog did quite a good deal by signing, I believe, Dylan Platt again, because yesterday he won the first academy race at Birmingham. And the second academy race in Birmingham was won by Mateusz Kozlowski, who's now for today in the other Thunderdog seat. So I think they look quite strong, at least stronger than 2 weeks ago, where they only scored 1 point. So it will be interesting to see what they can do. Also, Guillaume Branton now at Aspineo Force Polonia. which is kind of interesting because he scored quite a lot of points 2 weeks ago, and I believe Guillaume wasn't happy with his own pace and expected even more. So let's see if he can deliver that at his new team. And yeah, with Chris Gitzoff, it will be interesting what he can do, because I believe this will be his first FC race. I'm actually sure that it is. So let's see what he can do with pace. And then the other new guys, Fabian Root was pretty fast yesterday in the Academy Series. So I hope he can make a bit of an good impression on his team. So yeah, loads of interesting lineups, and all should be able to deliver some nice points, if not more.
Yeah, definitely. Just see, as we're on board with Guillaume Branton here, warming up his tyre to set himself up for the lap. He's someone who is a very hard-working driver, to be honest, and I think now that he is at a team where he's confirmed to be primary driver for the season. Obviously, Valet was just some of the stand-in emergency drive. I think now that he's at Force Polonia for the full time, I think he should be doing some very exciting stuff. And also Michael Tumal here we're on board with. Obviously someone who in Australia he really would be kind of ruined that he couldn't get more points than he actually did. Obviously leading race 2 for a decent amount for an unfortunate incident involving some lag, took him and Tom Parker out of the race. So he's the first one on track in qualifying, or the first one to start his lap. But he'll be looking to try and get himself in a position to repeat what he did in Australia, and this time be able to finish the race.
Yeah, very true. And we're now waiting for the first sector times. Well, at the moment, Mikael Tomala has the first lap time purple, but I already believe somebody is now going quicker, which is Isaac Morris with a 31.9 in the first sector. But
it's actually very good for sector. He's the only one in the 31 at the moment for that sector 1. Obviously, first lap drivers won't necessarily be pushing 100%. Wait until the end of the session for that. But see, if you get a good bank lap in, then that sets you up very well for the rest of the session.
Yeah, I fully agree. But I think the key of this track is the second sector. I think the second sector is a sector where you can win a lot and lose a lot. I think that will be telling for the actual lap. More than the other 2 sectors. We now have some lap times in. We've now got Luke Mitchell on 1, and now we've got Bjorn Branson to first position with a 1:43.992. So that's good.
Yeah, as we see there, actually, the 2 Valences just holding each other up there, with someone holding them up in the final corner, then running wide on the exit. Not good stuff there. Or not ideal for them. But yeah, Guillaume Branton at the moment fastest. Isaac Morris second. Yeah. Someone who, again, he had a lot of potential for Australia, but for whatever reason, I know he got involved in a few incidents at the start of the races, so wasn't able to necessarily capitalise on his pace. But this time out, he hasn't got a good drop, so he'll be looking to start at the front this time and hopefully have a better race.
Yeah.
Better round.
Yeah, and what I said before about the second sector actually was something Guillaume did. Guillaume Branton actually was fastest in the second sector, and he gained all the time on his nearest rivals now in the second sector, while his third sector wasn't as quick as some of the other guys. So he got it all from sector 2.
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously that's the sector with all the corners. But you can gain more time, and also all the tricky corners, so you can also quite easily lose a lot of time. As we're looking on board here with Darius Andre, or we were with Darius Andre, obviously he won race 1 in Australia, he won on track race 2 last time out in Australia, but since that event the penalties have come out, and he's actually dropped down to, I believe it was P7 or P8 in race 2.
P7.
P7, yeah. Which actually promoted Jack Nicholls up to the win and Scott Mitchell up to second for a Kings Racing 1-2, which I don't think anyone would have expected after their season in Super Cup last year. So very good stuff there from them.
And
I'll be very happy with that.
another thing we didn't expect is Fabian Root now has got the fastest lap time. He's now got the current pole position lap time with a 1:43.894, and I believe he had no sectors which were purple. So it was overall it was the good lap, but not like one sector which was like amazing. So I think it's overall you need to be good. If you do 3 near perfect sectors, then you can still get a very good total time, and I think that's what the rookie showed, at least the rookie in this series. But yeah, he's making a bit of an impression in his first qualifying session here in Formula Challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you say, is qualifying. It can always be difficult in practice. Obviously, you can do as many laps as you like, get the optimal lap time and get all the optimal sectors. But in qualifying, it's all about stringing together good enough sectors on the same lap to be able to beat the competition. There's no point absolutely hammering at sector 1, getting a world record there, and then spinning out sector 2. So yeah, he's done a very good job there, first round, to do that.
I think people underestimate how difficult it is to produce one perfect qualifying lap. I mean, in training you can try again until you've got it right, but in the qualifying it's not always the case that it will be that easy. And Fabian now does that.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe we had a new fastest first sector for Diogo Moscato. So interesting what he can do. He's now in P30, not set any lap time. We'll keep notice of that.
Yeah, we'll see what he does.
Can he jump into the top 5?
Is pretty good as well. So we'll see what he does when he crosses the line. Jumps up to P4. Very good stuff there.
That's very good from Diogo. So I think P4 after purple sector 1. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, but definitely. I think as well. Obviously, Valent didn't necessarily have the best of rounds in Australia. I think only picking up a few points between them.
Yeah.
But Moscato himself, he got a podium, didn't he, last year? For one of his team's first races when they joined midway through the season. Even
a win, I believe, if I remember correctly, and
So he's someone as well. Got a lot of potential to do well here.
Yeah.
And showing that already on P4.
So we currently have 31 drivers on track. So we're missing one driver, and I believe that's Gerard van der Weijden. We will see if he will join or if he will be replaced in this session. We will keep you informed on that.
Just seen in the YouTube chat actually, Marius Van Wyck, team owner of Deltec, saying that Jessica Pelletier will be standing in for Jared.
Yeah.
So good stuff there. Hopefully they can join the session soon. Obviously get a lap time in quali. That's the main thing. Be interested to see how much practice they would have done for this round.
Yeah, I think Marius van Wyk wants to wait until the end of qualifying, maybe in hope that Jared will be able to race. But if not, then I think we will see Jessica on track. So let's see what will happen at that team, and hopefully we can have the full house and 32 drivers in.
Yeah, that would be good. Just seeing at the front of the grid, it is very close stuff at the moment. We've got Guillaume Branton P2, only 100th off Fabian Ruth, and then Stephen Lexo behind him, only 500ths off pole. So very solid stuff from the Fourth Polonia drivers. Very tight top of the field general. Obviously last time out we had Darius Andre at the front there. For most of the session, way out in front until Tom Parker beat him at the end. But
I actually noticed something, is that Guillaume Branton went purple in the second sector again, and this first sector wasn't that good, and I see the same sector times more or less from his teammates. So I believe Sector 1 and Sector 3, Joyce, is a lot of about straight line speed, but Sector 2 is more about the high speed corners. So would that tell a bit that they don't run high top speed on this track, the Aspineo Force Bologna guys on the setup?
It could be, yeah. Like you say, yeah, Sector 2 is where all the corners are. Sector 1 and 3 are basically just straights that you have to, you've got a few slow corners that you have to string together, make it work, that's it. So yeah, that would suggest got higher downforce, which could help him. Obviously, he is helping them here at the moment in qualifying. Interested to see if in the race that maybe hinders them, maybe allows them not to close in on people in front in a straight line, or just allows them to be sitting ducks straight. But I'm sure they would have tested that and found a good compromise.
Yeah, I agree on that. Well, I believe Guillaume Mas is quite fast in the first sector. Let's see what he can do. I'm now checking the current timing sheet, and I believe we've got the first 24 drivers within a second, Josh. That's amazing, right? How close
There it is. Yeah, that is very close stuff, and exactly what we want to see. Obviously, these cars always will produce of exciting racing, being the smaller, lower power cars. But especially to have 24 drivers themselves, because that is essentially the only different factor here. Have 24 drivers that closely competing with each other. That's exactly what we all want to see. Just saying as well, so Adrian Faber now has gone into P4, only 800 off pole. So the top four all within a tenth of each other, which is also very impressive stuff.
Yeah, the top 11 is, I believe, within 2.5 tenths. So that's really good and quite amazing to see.
Exactly. See Fabian Roof now on another lap. He's just gone slightly quicker in Sector 1 than his previous lap, but Sector 2 don't seem quite as good. No, he's he's dropped about 4 tenths there. Sector 2. See if his Sector 3 can bring it all together.
Will be difficult, I think. He's quite a bit up in his second sector.
Yeah, still goes to finish with that, but it's not. No, it's a decent amount of time off what he'd said before. As I see Jake Dennehan there just pop up into P3.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had last time out as well. He was a very fast driver. Fortunately, the races didn't quite go his way, but showing his speed again here.
It's quite amazing what Jake Dennehan did for a lap. Like, all sectors look really good. Second sector was good. First sector was quite fast. So yeah, he was really close to pole, but still missed out on the 43 thousandths. That's amazing lap from Jake here.
Yeah, definitely. See, Jack Nichols got across the line. I don't think he's been improving on his lap. No, doesn't go up the position there. Obviously, the Kings Racing guys themselves, they looked good in Australia. Obviously, ended up with a 1-2 in race 2, which I'll be very happy with. But they didn't necessarily have the kind of outright speed. They did really well to just hold on in race 2. So maybe they might be looking to do the same thing here. Just try and get a decent race 1 under the belt, and then get a good race 2 reverse grid. Got Mitch up in P10 though, and Jack Nichols down in P16. Still decent stuff from them. Yeah,
decent stuff, and I see a lot of green first sector time, so a lot of people wanting to improve. So we're not done yet, but for the top 5 positions, I don't see a lot of improvements.
No, I think all of the top 5 and top 6 drivers have kind of completed their lap and not really improved. So at the moment, we've got Fabian Roof on pole.
Scott Mitchell is quite quick in the second sector now. Let's see what he can do. Can he improve from P10? And where can he go? He goes to pole. Wow!
By 400ths of a second.
Wow!
Incredible stuff. Dylan Platt jumps up to P5. there.
Dylan Platt to be
Very good stuff. Obviously, the winner, race 1 in Academy yesterday.
I'm actually very surprised, and yeah, I didn't see that one coming. Scott Mitchell, will he still pull away from Fabian Root? And if he does, of course, yeah, fair play to him. This is amazing. I didn't see this coming in the second times. Of course, he looked okay, but pole position, wow.
Again, that was another one where he didn't get any purple sectors, but strung it all together. Although Guillaume Branton, I just realised, is on a final lap. Has a good sector 1 time.
Also, Luke Mitchell, Scott Mitchell's brother, is on a very fast lap. Let's see what he can do. They're all about to be finishing.
Guillaume's sector 2 time there, not quite as good as his fastest lap, but still in with a charm.
But his first sector was much faster. Will he go to pole position? Will Guillaume Branton go to pole position? He wants it. Will he get it? No, not quite. To P2, I believe. 11 thousandths. Oh, 11 thousandths.
Exactly, yeah. We've got Faber. I don't think he's on a fast lap.
Oh, he is. He is.
The times were lying.
No, he did it all.
Pole position.
He did it all in the final sector with a purple final sector. So yeah, I guess he his first and second sector were matched by others, but his third sector was amazing. And wow, Adrian Faber got pole position. I'm actually a bit lost because it was quite interesting.
I was caught very off guard by that. I was looking at the times, and he did decently well in the first 2 sectors, but it didn't look that quick. And then he goes and does that, like say in the final sector.
Yeah.
Very, very close qualifying there. A lot of people ended up on the top spot throughout that session, but we've got Faber on pole, Mitchell second, very good stuff there from him. Guillaume Branton in P3, Fabian Roof on his debut in P4. Dylan Platt again on his debut P6. And Luke Mitchell as well. Scott Mitchell's brother rounding out the top 10 there for downforce. Very, very exciting stuff.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And I must say, I've been in the league for a lot of years, but as close as this, I believe I never saw. This is amazing to see 24 guys within a second. I mean, that's amazing. And that's just
really
very impressive. So I'm very happy with that. And we get more than expected.
Yeah, interesting. Looking down the grid there, you've got Tom Parker there in 14th place. Obviously, he'd taken pole in Australia last time out. Jack Nichols in 17th. Said race 2 winner last time out. Quite. I mean, they were still very close. They were still only about 4 tenths off pole, but with how close this grid is, you just can't really afford that.
Oh, you're right about that. And we're now going into the warm-up. And let's see if you can see people's pace for race 1. Will be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing I just want to, touch on this time is the standings from Australia. I'd say there are a few changes for penalties post-race. So we've got, actually I just do say, so Patrick Magnussen qualified P29, but he also has a 10 place grid penalty again. I imagine he wasn't necessarily pushed so hard in qualifying because of that. He'll be starting at the back. But in terms of the standings, Kings Racing ended up top of the team standings with third and second, and TCS off down in third, even with the 2 on-track wins. And 15 of the 16 teams scored points last time out, which that's just very impressive stuff, and again shows just how close the grid we have here is. Sim Racing guys, the only team not to score points, so they'll be looking to fix that this time. I believe qualifying 23rd and last place on the grid in qualifying at least, but there's still always chances for points. We had 22 drivers score points last time out, which if you think there's only 15 points per positions, quite a lot of a change there as well. But Darius Andre is leading the driver standings with Lexo second and Mass third. But what with what happened last time out, what do you think it says for the rest of the season? Obviously, it's only one round so far, so we can't necessarily draw too many conclusions, but it gives us at least a good idea of kind of which sort of drivers will be at the front.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Of course, it's only one round of racing, and yeah, I believe we had some people who were amazing at Australia, but we now want to see if they can carry on that from Australia, well, to Bahrain. And I also think some people didn't do as good as they expected they would do, and I think for some people that only motivated them more to test and make sure everything is is all right for this round. So it will be very interesting. Of course, with Darius Andre leading the championship, which is of course very good for him. But I believe he's only starting from P11 today, at least in race 1. So if he can win again, I will not be too sure of that. What do you think, Josh?
Well, yeah, obviously he has a tough task. In Australia with the reverse grid though, he did start P15, didn't he?
Yeah.
And at least on track, did make his way up to win still. But, I mean, yeah, qualifying in P11, maybe his pace isn't so good around this track. But he's still a very talented driver, so I'm sure he'll be doing whatever he can to make his way up the front. And obviously, even without so good a race 1, still gives him a chance in race 2 with the reverse grid. So, yeah, he's someone who, obviously, he's leading the championship at the moment after race 1, and he deserves to be at the front there. He's definitely got the pace, and yeah, see what he can do today from slightly lower starting grid position.
Yeah, I believe on the grid we've got definitely some guys who are really good in qualifying. We also got the pure racing drivers that not necessarily can get the best qualifying lap out, but when they are racing, they just know exactly how to respond in every situation they get into. And yeah, I believe somebody like Jack Nichols is a guy that will move on, going more to the front after his disappointing qualifying session. So yeah, well, I think we've got more here that will do well in the race while not have been qualifying that well.
Yeah, definitely. I think someone else with that I didn't see where he was in qualifying, be in the lower half. I think Mike Quinn. Just seeing him going around now. He's someone who also he's got a lot of talent or potential with him. Isn't necessarily done amazing in qualifying, but I think he's someone who, if he has a good race, can definitely fight his way through and do well. And he's driving for Alpha Delta, who got a couple of points last time out, new team to the series, so I'm sure they'll be looking as well to get a bit more this time.
Yeah, agreed. And Mike Quinn is a guy that's in the league for quite some times, and yeah, Australia didn't look good for him. If he gets back on his his pace we know from the past, and he's somebody who can definitely score some podiums and even some wins. But having that said, the whole grid is pretty strong this year, so we shall see what Mike Quinn can do at this grid. So,
exactly. So just looking through practice at the moment, the practice times or the warm-up times, not necessarily kind of everything to go by what we'll see in the race, but at the moment Darius Andre is topping the times. Obviously the drivers will likely be on the race fuel because there's no point practicing quali fuel as we're going into the race. So Darius Andre maybe at this track his qualifying pace isn't so good, but on slightly heavier car and maybe on tyre wear and stuff like that could help him. And if he's on maybe a slightly lower downforce setup, then could explain why his qualifying wasn't quite as good, but his race pace could be up there and help him fight through the grid. We've also got Tom van der Voort, P2 for Alpha Sierra. Had not the best of rounds last time out, but he's also someone who's got a lot of pace, been around for quite a while. So I think he'll be looking to get some decent points today as well.
Yeah, I think Tom van der Voort at all races, he's a guy that you want to, you want to keep an eye on, because at times Tom van der Voort can produce some very special race results, and yeah, we didn't see that in Australia, but I would say not yet. I'm pretty sure Tom van der Voort will be good, and yeah. Also, I think podiums would be in reach for him. Maybe not here in Bahrain, but definitely in the future. And he's just growing into the role as an FC driver. So yeah, also looking forward to see what he can do. So yeah. Josh, one question for you. I heard from you that I believe Jessica Pletcher would join as the 32nd driver. Did we already see her on track or not yet?
Just looking through the Discord. I think just trying out having to download the mod. So I think that shows that
Okay.
obviously it's a very last minute change. So
Yep.
I'm sure if they could join, even if it's just for race 2, they'll try it. Always worth getting another car out there for the team. So yeah, see if they can join. If not, then we'll just be running with 31 drivers, but still a very stacked grid. So still a very talented grid. So
A very talented grid, of course. But we shall see if we can see this second Deltec esports car for race 2. Because yeah, it looks like race 1 will be a bit too early for the driver. So we're waiting for that.
yeah. So just looking again at the top, the kind of prep session at the moment is still mostly people that were pretty quick either last time out or in qualifying. Got Matri Sandak in P6 at the moment. He's someone who, obviously, it was his debut last time out, and he did very well, getting 2 very solid results. I didn't see again where he was in qualifying, but yeah, he's someone who's very exciting, and can't wait to see what he can do in this race.
Well, we've got, I believe, 30 seconds to go before we go into the first race of the evening. I just see a lot of people now testing the starts, just to get a bit of focus for the first race, just to make sure that you actually, have a quite a pretty fast response time. And of course it looks easy, just maybe pushing a button or releasing your clutch, but you always wanted to test it a few times just to get into the flow of the start procedure. So that's I think you will now see a lot of drivers doing the last few minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I think for this year, remember rightly, they don't actually have launch control on the cars anymore. So it will be either kind of holding it in neutral or holding it on the clutch. And even though they are, slightly easier cars to drive, as I say that as Traker unfortunately just spins into the wall. But they are slightly easier cars to drive. But on the starts, you still have to get it right. Otherwise, you end up either bogging down too much or getting a lot of wheel spin. And especially with how close the grid always is here, that can drop you a lot of positions and end up ruining your race just by getting a poor start. So yeah.
I believe we saw that yesterday. I believe with one of the FC drivers of today, Walter de Bruin, who actually was qualified in P5 for the first academy race, but then stalled his car at the race start, and what happened after, of course, people can guess. It was Spa 98 all over again. But in the end, no Dutchies were harmed in the process. So he's now driving for Team Academy today. So let's see if he can do the start all right today.
Yeah, that would be good. You'll see the drivers heading out onto the grid now. Got about 30 seconds to get onto the grid. Make sure everything's set up correctly as I go onto it. Make sure that the drivers themselves are ready for the race. And just in a few moments, we're going through the formation lap. Here we go, pulling away from the grid now. So obviously on pole, Adrian Faber there with a great lap time. Got Mitchell P2, probably a surprise of qualifying there. Guillaume Branton P3, Fabian Roof P4. Jake Danahan P5, Dylan Platt on his debut P6, Stephen Lexo P7, Diego Moscato P8 for Valorant Sim Racing. Got Isaac Morris P9, Luke Mitchell P10, Darius Andre, obviously winner last time out and leader of the championship P11, and Guillaume Mas P12. Tom Van der Voort lines up in P13, Tom Parker alongside him in 14th, Chris Gitsoff for Valet in P15, Maciej Sandak there is in P16. There's Jack Nichols 17th, Heis Sonneveld in 18th, Matthias Gazowski 19th, and Maximilian Junger and his Davy stand-in race in P20. Mike Quint there in P21, Michael Tumala 22, Don Holsall 23, and Ben Willis P24. Obviously, still P24 there within a second of pole, so you know, good, close stuff. Wouter de Bruyne P25, Tommy Koinen 26, Justin van der Smissen P27. I missed P28 unfortunately. Got Mike Bell there in P29, Kevin Morville in P30, and Trey Compton lines up P31. That was Bruno Sousa Ferreira, sorry, P28 for Deltec. And as we can see, obviously the other Deltec of Jessica Pelete unfortunately not making it in time. So if they can make it for race 2.
Let's hope so they can, and they can have both cars in the second race.
Yeah, it would be a shame not to.
I mean, the team built or prepared 2 chassis, so you want to at least see them both being destroyed. I mean, not destroyed, but just on track. So a small joke from me, because I'm pretty nervous always when the start is there. It's just always that moment when you know people have trained for the last 2 weeks, and let's see who can do well. Any prediction, Josh? Want to do predictions, or is that the commentator's curse?
I think with this grid, with how tight the grid is, I don't know if predictions will ever really come true. Obviously, Faber very quickly at the end of the qualifying, but the whole top 4 or 5 were within a tenth of each other, so they're all just as quick as each other. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens really with them.
I agree with
We've
that.
got the last few guys lining up on the grid now, getting ready for the lights. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 light. And we are go in Bahrain. Faber there with a pretty good start, but Scott Mitchell actually pulling alongside him, slightly ahead, heading down into turn 1. A lot of smoke coming from the engines there. Scott Mitchell breaks it up the inside, slight lock up there, but he takes the lead from Adrian Faber there into turn 1. Jim Branton having a look in P3, slightly off track there, slightly push wide. And here's Isaac Morris from P9 up into P4, takes Branton around the outside as he got him into turn 4.
Yeah, he has it.
Yeah, he has, up into P3 from P9 there for Isaac Morris. Great stuff. We've got Lex still in the background there, being slightly wide there, out of turn 4. But they all relatively get through quite cleanly. I haven't seen any.
Yeah, it's very clean also at the back. I'm now watching a bit in at the final few positions, so it looks pretty okay. Let's just wait for the end of sector 2 to see if something will happen.
Yeah, very good stuff there. Darasandra there, just getting slightly out of shape, being overtaken by Moscato, down into P10. Still engines smoking at the front there. I'll see there's been big crash in the background there. Is that one of the Alpha Sierra cars heading off into the wall? Ben Willis.
What happened there?
Shame there for him. both wings. You've got to say he's probably going to end up out with that. As
Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he just went to defend from one of the Alpha Delta cars, and yeah, it didn't end up well. So Ben Willis is unfortunately, I believe, out of the race, or at least, well, he's
still going round, but
has a lot of damage.
He'll have a lot of repairs there. I've just seen actually Faber's dropped down to P4. Isaac Morris up into P2. He's going to have to defend here from Guillaume Branton.
Yeah.
And are they going to go 3 wide here with Adrian Faber having a look in into turn 1? They all break similar positions, and Isaac actually is the one that loses out there. Guillaume spins.
Oh.
Just slightly too much power, I think, there. I think that's just a mistake from him.
Oh, the
anyway,
rejoin.
Head up into turn 4. Isaac Morris here. He's got to look round the outside of Faber once again. He's going to have to hold it there, but Faber, bit of contact, bit of rubbing there. Mostly fair. They're still side by side. Heading into turn 5. Isaac still
Isaac
round
Morris
the outside.
Trying it. Still there. But Adrian will try to come back to Isaac Morris, or they do a bit of wheel banging. Keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean.
Yep, turn 9 here is a very difficult corner. Best of times, but Isaac Morris there gets breaking very good.
But look at Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell is taken off in a good way. He just, I believe that's already 3 seconds. How much is it?
Yeah, it is almost 3 seconds there. Very
He's
tough,
enjoying that.
just letting the guys behind battle. Faber actually back through there.
Faber and Morris again, yeah. And it only helps Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell is already, he's got a lot of seconds to play with already after 2 laps. And the numbers 2 and the numbers 3 are making life really difficult for themselves. And look at Jake Danahan. Jake Danahan is really close. And he thinks like, oh, you can battle all you want, but I'm the one that, when DRS opens, will get you. Look at the battling.
Yeah. Both of them definitely want this P2. Obviously, both of them with slightly disappointing rounds last time out. Not really through their own fault. So they really want this. Very equal straight line speed there going down into turn 1. Isaac braking later again. Still trying to hold it around the outside of Faber. Turn 2 tightens up a bit. They're still side by side. Great stuff. And Jake Denon here having a look. Being slightly parred off the track there by Adrian Faber. He has to just back out that one. Isaac Morris again looking around the outside at turn 4. Shoved wide slightly again by Faber. This is just amazing battle here between them two, that they've kept it on track. Faber has kept it there for now. Danahan himself now having a look around the outside of Morris.
Yeah, and what is interesting, the last lap of Scott Mitchell was 2.8 seconds faster than the lap of Adrian Faber. He just said like, okay guys, you battle, I will just do my lap. And he already is a very small dot. If you look at on board with Adrian Faber, you will not even see Scott Mitchell anymore. And can we see another Kings racing win? I know it's early, but it starts to look quite good.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what Darius Landry did, didn't it, last time out in race 1. He let the guys behind battle. Well, he just was able to just drive away, obviously without being held up by anyone else. As behind there's been a lot of battling as well, but they've all kept it very clean. Very good battling throughout the field.
Yeah.
Got Stephen Lexo here having a look on Dylan Platt. See Stephen Lexo. There's Jack Nichols actually having a look down as well. So the Kings racing, obviously one of them in the lead. Jack Nichols still in P17 where he started the race. So he'll be looking to make this move on Gitsov. He's got a pretty big gap in front. He'll have to close up. Feather roof there. Side by side with the Valence at turn 1. Nothing doing there. There's well,
a lot of
mad opening laps.
Yeah, mad opening laps, but no big drama. Well, I don't now see a spinner in Tommy Koivunen. Tommy Koivunen spun, and now he's in P30, so he lost quite a bit of a few positions.
Meanwhile, we've got Darius Landry here. Have a look around Tom van der Voort. Is he gonna get that one? Oh, 3 wide there. 3 wide with Guillaume Branton, who's recovered from that spin. 4 wide now on the exit. This is Oh, this is not going to end well if they keep it there. And Van der Voort going for a slight spin, but Taras Andre actually manages to make it through there. Best of all of them. It's very, very aggressive stuff from all of them there.
Yeah. Relax, guys. Only the first race of the evening, so just
exactly,
relax.
Yeah.
But
still another 11 laps of this race itself to go.
Yeah. So all looks good. What's the lead of Scott Mitchell at the moment, Josh?
At the moment, it's around 5.5 seconds.
Oh.
I think now that they've sort of come down behind, see Favour being on pole, he'll be looking to close that gap, but it's a very, very commanding place he's got himself in already.
If you're Scott Mitchell, then driving with a 5-second lead after a few laps it's so good, because you know that you can save everything. You can save the tires. You can, just keep a lot of things just a bit better until the end if you need it there. So it's
exactly.
good.
It's what any racing driver will dream about having. As you hear Van der Voort and Branton still side by side out of turn 1 there. Branton, they've both got DRS now. Branton to go look up the inside there into turn 4. Bit of contact there.
Was that a move on the braking?
Looks like although it could be, but Tom Van der Voort there getting shoved a bit wide on the exit. Somehow still, as that's, gonna have to cut the track there. Oh, that's not the best rejoin. Still, and that's the balance round as well because of that. Not good stuff. I was about to say, surprised how they're all pointing in the right direction.
Oh, crashed from Haschel. Haschel and Tumala crashed, and Haschel, Don Haschel lost out, and Tom Van der Voort lost out as well. I believe he cocked his tires, and I believe Tom Van der Voort has a big problem with his tire championship now, and I fear everybody will pass him now because, doesn't look good for him.
No, I have to say I was surprised that he kept all his wings, to be honest, but his tyres will not be liking up in there. Is that Tumala in the background? Yeah, Sim Racing guys, so another slightly disappointing around there from Sim Racing guys. Yeah, you have to say, as here at the front, Jake Dennehan goes in on Isaac. Isaac not seemingly able to keep up with Favour after putting such a good battle up with him at the start. Dennehan, slight wiggle there on the braking. Go look for the switchback on this run up to turn 4. Made that work quite well. Very close behind. It's gonna have to look around the outside at turn 4. Very difficult place to make that work. And not quite close enough there.
Not quite, but
Isaac Morris under a lot of pressure. I'd say after being the one putting the pressure on Adrian Favour at the start, and they are slowly closing in on Scott Mitchell, but only about half a second now. Still 5-second gap. So
half a second a lap. So it's not going well. They're not closing in that fast, and I think Dennehan really wants to have that podium, but of course Isaac Morris wants to have that podium as well. And I believe Isaac Morris wasn't happy after Australia with his with his results. So if he can get a podium here, of course it will be very good for him. But we're not there yet, so we shall see.
We see Guillaume Branton and Luke Mitchell there side by side. Very good move there from Guillaume Branton. Obviously he's had to recover from a spin, which won't have done his tyres too good. Seems to be doing alright so far. And made the move stick there. And I think with Dennehan and Morris, both of them probably wanting to make up for a missed opportunity on Australia. Isaac was very quick, but unfortunately wasn't able to show that in the races due to some lap 1 issues. And Dennehan was maybe looking for podiums in both races, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, wasn't able to keep hold of that.
Well, we've got a fight between Dylan Platt and Tom Parker, and Tom Parker just comes out ahead of Dylan Platt. That's all for P7.
Yeah, we've got there down into P11. The 2 downforce cars were side by side with Guillaume there, and there's a collision with the Thunderdogs, and are they almost 5 wide going up into turn 4. This is very messy stuff as Jack Nicholls sending it in there as well. The valet
Oh,
just about all keep it clean enough. Guillaume Branton there has lost out massively after that turn 1 issue with the downforce cars, but somehow they're all still facing the right way. It's a bit of a nudge there.
bit of a nudge there,
Jack-
yeah, but he's down P16, and Guillaume, I think he expected much more, and
He
he's
sends
taking.
it there into P10.
Yeah, he's sending it, and good for Guillaume, but that will hurt his tires as well. Does he have the room on his tires at least to send it? I mean, you can send it, you can always send it, but yeah, I'm not sure if the tires will like it. At least they will like it now, but how will the tires be at the end? I believe we're just over halfway.
Exactly,
So-
yeah. I think Guillaume himself is someone who's always struggled a tiny bit with tyre wear, being on a controller and with a spin as well. Yeah, his tyres will not be liking him at the moment if he keeps those sort of moves up. I was looking here at Stephen Lexo down in P9. Gonna try and make a move on Thunderdog, but they're all sort of in the DRS of each other there with Tom Parker in front.
Yeah.
And
I
no
just,
moves really able to go yet.
I just saw that Dylan Platt actually was faster on the straights than Stephen Lexo. So actually, what I said that the AFP guys run like more downforce. It seems to be the case because on the straights, even with DRS, Stephen Lexo couldn't follow Dylan Platt. So it was kind of telling. But yeah, it's of course what you choose as a team, what you want from your setup, and if you think more wings is a bigger gain, then yeah, you go for that.
Exactly, yeah. And it did work quite well for them in qualifying, but unfortunately here we've seen once they've got behind, got stuck behind other cars, it makes it very difficult for them to make any moves. If the car in front is going to go quickly in a straight line, we'll see how much you can do to help that.
Oh, we've got somebody spinning, I believe. Was that Maciej Sandak? Or what happened there? I saw some yellow. Oh, I believe I saw a screen freeze from Maciej Sandak. And actually he spun, yeah. So Maciej Sandak now, I believe, in P17, while he was in the points before.
Yeah, just to say as well, at the front, we've actually now had a bit of a reversal of what was happening. So now Isaac Morris is very close to the back of Adrian Faber. Jake Dennehan's the one who's dropped off slightly, even though Dennehan now with the fastest lap of the race, able to keep it up at the moment. Isaac Morris in the DRS, very close behind Faber. Not close enough for turn 1 there, but he could try and set himself up for turn 4. Might be a bit too far away. All of them, again, still slightly closing in on Scott Mitchell, but not really enough to potentially worry him so much at the moment. And still, that battle there for the P13 is hotting up a lot.
Well, we've got Tom van der Voort retiring from the race, and Ruan also retired from the race. So we've got 28 runners still going strong in this race. Let's see. And Isaac Morris is really close to the back of Adrian Faber. What is smart for Isaac Morris to do? Because he didn't score any podium this season. I believe not even in the Formula Challenge as a whole. But yeah, what do you want to do? You want to pass Adrian Faber right away, or you want to keep in his DRS? Because if you're Isaac Morris and you have got the DRS of Adrian Faber, then maybe Jake Dennehan cannot get closer to you, because yeah, Jake Dennehan might not have DRS. What would you do?
Yeah, exactly. It's, I don't know. It's that's something that he's got to make his mind up on. I know Isaac is he's a very ambitious driver. He will definitely want this P2, as we see Stephen Lexer there, a very nice move in the final corner. But yeah, I know Isaac is a driver that will be wanting to get this
and
P2.
He's going for it. He's going for P2. Around the outside, brakes later. Is now in P2, but they're going side by side into turn 1. They're there. They're still there. They bang wheels, and Adrian Faber is still ahead. Now again, DRS for Isaac Morris. goes around the outside. What will he do? Can he outbrake? No, still the inside for Adrian Faber. So Adrian Faber doesn't crack under pressure for now, but Isaac Morris looks quite fast. And I think with all of these, Jake Danahan can just close up all the two. Well, we got a half cent for Isaac Morris, but he didn't make that stick.
Yeah, I wasn't quite close enough there to do anything seriously. We'll see if he has a look into turn 10 here. Oh, I think he got caught out by Faber's braking there, and he does make the move.
Nice move. But can Adrian Faber get back? Oh, he gives it back because he's lifting quite early.
Yeah, I did notice a bit of contact on the entry. Maybe Isaac feeling that it was a bit of an unfair move they made there. So good sportsmanship though from him.
Yeah, that's really good that he then gives it back. But now Jake Denhan is there as well, and now we've got at least 3 people going for the podium positions, and Fabian Root is not far away.
Exactly. I think in general it's all about picking your time here. Isaac, in every move he made on Faber, I mean, you've got to say it's more Faber with good defending. Isaac was always sent to the outside of the corners where it's very difficult to do anything. And obviously with them tripping over each other, it has allowed Jake.
Oh, look at Jake. Look at Jake.
He's the one closing in now, yeah, into turn 1. Quite enough, maybe.
Can he do it?
Gonna have a look around the outside, but he's not really fully there. We'll see if any of them try to go from moving to turn 4. Jake there having to cut turn 3 a little bit, so he's not really close enough to do anything. And Isaac as well.
Yeah, and our leader has no problems. He just gained another second, I believe, the last lap. He just he just saw the guys get closer and closer to him, which was like 3 to 4 seconds. But now the last lap, because they battled really hard, he gained another second on the guys behind. So Scott Mitchell looks like having it all under control at this moment of the race.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I mean by you have to kind of pick your times when to go for moves, because if it doesn't work out, both of you are going to lose lots of time, as has happened here.
So let's get through the top 15 at the moment. So at the lead we've got Scott Mitchell with Adrian Faber in 2nd position, Isaac Morris in 3rd position, with Jake Denhan in 4th, Fabian Root in 5th, Diogo Moscato now in P6, and Fallon's Sim Racing didn't score that much points 2 weeks ago, so they can get P6. At least the driver and the team will be, I think, very happy with that. And then Tom Parker now in P7 with Stephen Lexlow in P8. Well, I believe he's got a several moves going on.
Yeah, he's currently P8, but see if that stays there. Isaac Morris actually going around the outside to turn 1 again and again. Quite able to do it, but he is ahead into turn 2 there.
Oh! And now
Saber goes slightly wide at turn 3 without Ferry almost losing it there on the exit, or on the rejoin turn 3. There's also what's this, Valence trying to make a move on Tom Parker at turn 4 as they bang wheels all the way down the straight.
What
is going
is
on
that?
There? Oh,
What
that was
is that?
To happen.
What
Tom
was
Parker
that?
is round, I think, through no fault of his own really. There's a weird amount of wheel banging going on there.
Totally unacceptable, because that looked like it was totally not needed, and that was just sad, because it was a very good point scoring position, and I'm not very happy what happened there, because you both could have done that much nicer. So,
yeah, exactly. You see on the replay there, Tom really didn't do anything. He was just holding his line, trying to get that position, and a bit weird to see from Scatter there, but Gato carries on. See if the DC will want to have a look at that after the race. And here we've got Stephen Lexo, Darius Andre, I think, got past him and Platt on the last lap. Not sure how that happened, but we'll see if Stephen can go for a move to take that. I realise as well that Guillaume Branton is actually out of the race. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if maybe tyres were a bit too toasted or if he
Well, we've got Adrian Faber going for the move. Yeah, he's going to the inside of Isaac Morris. This fight is not done, but he outbreaks himself. Isaac Morris is smart here, and Isaac Morris keeps P2. Isaac Morris saw that Polish rocket coming from a mile away, and yeah, just kept second position.
Yeah, meanwhile we had there, Stephen Alexo did make his move into turn 1, went up the inside, but that means Darius Andre go get back at him up the inside to turn 4. Dylan Platt, is he going to have a look here? No, backs out, quite smart. As Darius Andre here, got the inside, side by side still. Stephen Alexo is the car behind, so yeah, he has to yield there. Just great battling all through the field.
Yeah,
Dylan Platt still on a little look.
See a lot of interesting fights in the top 15, but also outside of the top 15. So
Slight bit of contact there with Dylan Platt, but they all get away with it. Lexo actually there lifting off to let Dylan through. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he felt his move, whichever move it was, get past Dylan Platt. Well, maybe it wasn't up to scratch, but he lets him back through. Nice to see if it was some sort of incident.
And both the Thunderdog cars are now P8 and P11. While I believe they only scored 1 point at Australia, it would mean, of course, they will score another 13 points for this race. So Team Thunderdog will be very happy with that. Well, I believe we now started the final lap.
Yeah, we're on the final lap. Got Mitchell still 5.5 seconds ahead of Isaac Morris, who seems to have got a decent, or at least a controllable gap to Adrian Faber. As Dylan Platt trying to make a move on Andre, making a little bit of contact. Stephen Lexo has dropped back slightly from this fight. So Dylan Platt here, he's got the DRS, he's going to try and go around the outside into turn 4. Not seen this work so far this race. But he does, he's there. Oh, slight wiggle there on the exit, and that's allowed Darius back through. So yeah, still that turn 4 is proving very difficult for these guys to try and go around the outside. Obviously it's off camber, it's yeah, a very difficult spot in general.
Well, we also got a great battle for P15. It's Maciej Sandak and Walter de Bruin. Sorry, this is P14. So this is quite interesting. Chris Gitsov is actually now the one that wants to try to get P15, and Chris Gitsov might get P14 even. So that's at the back of the field. We now go back to Dylan Platt, who's trying to overtake Darius Andre, but cannot do it for now.
No, when he's gone deep, that's allowed Stephen Lexo through at turn 11 there. Yeah, Dylan Platt, unfortunately, going for a move, not able to do it.
And we're close now on the end of the race, while we there have Scott Mitchell, who will win the first race of the evening with quite a masterclass and smart driving from him. Isaac Morris gets P2. Well done, lads. Well done. With Adrian Faber in P3, with Jake Denhan in P4, with Fabi Ruud in P5, Diogo Moscato now in P6. Of course, he had an accident with Tom Parker. Darius Andre, championship leader in P7, with Stephen Lexlow in P8. Dylan Platt in P9 for Team Thunderdog. Tom Parker in P10. Mateusz Guzowski in P11. It's also, I think, quite a good position from him. With Luke Mitchell in P12. Jack Nichols in P13. With Walter de Bruin in P14. And Chris Gitsov in P15. With Maciej Sandak just losing out on points in P16.
Yeah, so that was some Mike Bell wrestling for the line. Well, that was a very exciting race, wasn't it? Isaac Morris at front, able to hold off at Faber after trying to make some moves for the whole race. But yeah, you've got to say Scott Mitchell, just a very controlled drive. Got away at lap 1, let the guys behind do the battling, much like Darius Andre did in Australia 2 weeks ago. And well, we didn't really see anything of him the whole race. He was just controlling it at the front.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Good. Yeah, nice Jake Denham in P4, like I said, I think he's redeemed himself, and I'm sure he feels like he's redeemed himself for last time out. Fabian Roof on his debut, P5. That's good stuff from him.
Yep.
Moscato P6. Again, like I say, had that incident with Tom Parker, so see what happens with that. But at the moment, P6, good stuff for Valent. Andre P7 didn't seem quite as kind of on it as he was at Australia, but still, good result for him. Stephen Lexo P8. Dylan Platt P9 on his debut, very good stuff. And Tom Parker rounding out top 10. Obviously, maybe had been looking for something a bit better, but still, good point. Mateusz Kozłowski P11, like say, Thunderdog, a very good round for them. In comparison, Luke Mitchell P12, Jack Nichols P13 for King, so another double points finish for them. Walter De Bruyne P14, and Chris Gitzoff rounds off the points for Valley Esports.
Very good, good stuff. So, yeah.
Just seeing as well, so P16, like you say, was Matrick Sandak, who, yeah, I'm sure he'll be looking to make his way up the grid in race 2. He definitely had the pace there, maybe just got a bit unfortunate with all the battling that was going on. And then Mike Quint made his way up to P17 after qualifying quite far down. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. And again, he set himself up for a pretty good spot to make some moves in race 2. Kevin Morville as well in 18th for Sim Racing Guys. Yeah, he's in a good spot to hopefully get their first point of the season. But anyway, we're just going to go for a quick 5-minute break as they go into warm up for race 2. So we'll see you very shortly. Welcome back to race 2 of Former Challenge Bahrain. Very exciting race 1 there, and we've got the reverse grid has been decided. It's 14, which means we've got Wouter de Bruyne for the GPVWC Academy on pole position. He did quite well there, to be fair, to get P14, and obviously he's been rewarded there with a reverse grid pole, so be interested to see what he can do. Obviously it does mean we've got Darius Andre having a okay race 1, means that he's a bit higher up the grid than he was in Australia, so there might be a few other people there looking to fight their way through. So what do you think, Menno? What's there's going to be another race 1, very exciting?
Yeah, I expect race 2 will be kind of interesting, and also for Jack Nicholls it will be interesting because I believe he starts from second position now, while he won, well, 2 weeks ago he won race 2. Can Kings Racing, can they win both races? Maybe with Jack Nicholls win race 2. That would be the dream scenario for the team, but let's see what they can do. Yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously that would be great for them, exactly what they would like. You've got to say, without a De Bruyne on pole, Jack Nicholls probably looking to clear him as quick as possible and take it away from there, but we'll just have to wait and see if that can happen. Or if Wouter De Bruyne himself will pull away and have a great race. Never know.
Of course, that's possible. His speed yesterday in the Academy Series qualifying was promising, so let's see what he can do.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we've just got the cars lining up on the grid now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be...
Give you a good reminder that the race 2 points will be less than race 1. So I believe every points position from 4th to 15th is the same as in race 1, with the top 3 now scoring less points.
Yeah, very true there. As we'll go run through the grid then. So Wouter De Bruyne, like I said, on pole position. Jack Nicholls P2. You've got Luke Mitchell in P3, maybe a double Mitchell win. Mateusz Kozolski P4 for Thunderdog. We've got Tom Parker in P5 with Dylan Platt in P6, Alexo P7 and Darius Andre P8. Go to Diego Moscato P9, Fabian Roof P10, Jake Dennehan P11, Faber P12. See, these are the guys that will be looking to fight through quite quickly through the grid. Isaac Morris 13th and Scott Mitchell C14th. Chris Gutsoff P15 and Mathieu Sandet P16. Then Mike Quint 17th, Kevin Morville P18, Guillaume Mas P19 and Patricia Magnussen P20. Then we've got Bruno Sousa Ferreira for Deltec P21, Heis Sonneveld P22, Maximilian Jonger P23 and Tommy Koivunen P24. Michael Tumala P25, Mike Bell 26, Justin van der Smissen 27 and Guillaume Branton after a disappointing race 1 in P28. He'll be looking to fight through the grid definitely. We've got Don Horsell P29, Tom van der Voort P30, Ben Willis P31 and Jessica Pelletier did end up joining, so we've got a full grid there with 2 Deltecs now on the grid. So they'll be looking hopefully to make something of that, but obviously it'd be quite difficult for Jessica having just sort of hopped in at very late notice, but
which will be very interesting with 32 drivers, and good to see both Deltecs are on the grid with Jessica Pelletier. I believe
Exactly.
this is her FC debut, I think. So let's hope for the best for her. I think from her starting position, it will just be go to the finish and gain a lot of experience, and maybe in future rounds she can drive with more preparation time. I think that's the thing she's eyeing for.
Exactly, yeah, I'm sure. Just wanting to finish the race will be the main target there. One thing to note as well, obviously Bahrain, as we just saw, it's a bit of an easier track to battle and overtake at than Australia. So maybe this reverse grid will be a bit easier for the guys that are at the front in race 1. But anyway, lights are on, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are go for race 2. We've got Wouter de Bruyne there with a good start. Jack Nicholls again looking up the inside into turn 1. Can you do exactly what Scott Mitchell did in race 1? Not quite. Luke Mitchell actually looking around the outside, as it's relatively close, relatively clean, further down. A lot of obviously changing positions, bit less smoke from the engines this time out. They're 3 wide in turn 4 there, and that's Jack Nicholls as well, making a bit of contact with De Bruyne, but he is into the lead. Didn't quite see what happened there, whether it was exactly what happened, but
Walter just lost it into braking of turn 2. I believe there was no big judge, if there was a judge. So now it's Jack Nicholls in the lead with Walter de Bruyne in second position. Now Luke Mitchell in P3 with Tom Parker now in P4. Yeah, after the disappointing race 1 where he only finished P10, he now has a chance to do really well, Tom Parker. And also what happened 2 weeks ago with the incident with Tomala, he's eyeing for a podium or more.
Yeah, just to say as well, Isaac Morris again with a fantastic lap 1 up into P6 from P13 there. So yeah, 2 very good starts for him. That's going to set him up really well. But he is behind Darius Andre and Tom Parker, who obviously are very quick drivers themselves. So it might not be quite as easy for him to fight through the grid. And looking back, Dennehan and Lexo and Moscato all very close, heading into the final corner. Lexo goes around the outside there.
Well, we've got Luke Mitchell. Yeah, we've got Luke Mitchell going for P2. He looks to be faster than Walter de Bruyne. Now next to him for braking into turn 1. Walter de Bruyne still has got the inside. Luke Mitchell brakes later. Does he have a better exit? Outside will be inside corner, and he passes for second position.
Big crash behind there at turn 1. Dennehan's round, Lexo's round, Moscato was round as well. Not good. Tom Parker's dropped down to P7. You got Isaac Morris there making a move on Darius Andre. So Isaac Morris, after just 1 lap and a bit, is up into P4 from 13th on the grid. Very, very good stuff there from Isaac. Obviously he'll be now looking to get another podium under his belt here. Darius Andre still very close behind him. And seeing a replay here of that turn 1, I think it was just sort of, 4 wide there, as you can see. Oh, that was not very good stuff there from the valet, going in way too hot, and causing a bit of a chain reaction. But
I want to do a big shout out to the guy in 12th position, Gijs Sonneveld. What an amazing start. He wasn't in the top 15 starting positions, but now already is in P12. So can Gijs Sonneveld, can he score his first points this season? Would be something for him in the team. He's now in P12.
Definitely, I think as well, actually, Petrika Magnussen in P10. I think he started P20, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, we've got a spinner. We've got a spinner. Guillaume Branson, half spun. And now I see the 2 Aspineo Force Polonias in P23 and P24. And that's, I think, those are 2 places where we didn't expect them to be there. So, yeah, it's hard to see them there. But they are there at the moment.
It's not what they would have been hoping for. Meanwhile, Kevin Morville is actually in P14 as well.
Yeah.
Shout out for him, for Sim Racing guys. He'll be looking to hold on for that, for their first point.
Yeah, let's hope the team can score their first points this race. Then we've got all the teams at least scoring points in the championship. So let's hope we can do that. Oh,
exactly. And Isaac Morris there takes P3 from Valtteri De Bruyne, who I guess again must have just gone wide on his own at turn 4.
Yeah, just outbraked himself again.
Sorry, with Golski side by side, and Tom Parker's got that. Yeah, Isaac Morris already into the podium places after starting 13th. Darius Andre as well, P4 after starting P8. Good stuff as well from him. Meanwhile, Jack Nicholls not quite running away from it as much as Scott Mitchell was in race 1, but it is actually Scott Mitchell's brother tailing him in P2. So very good day for them at the moment.
Yeah, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they test quite a bit together, the Mitchell brothers and Jack Nicholls. So I think they will not do anything strange if they don't have to. So I think it looks very good for those two, but also for Isaac Morris, who already is in P3 again. So yeah, looks really good for him, and I'm not sure if he's got more pace, but the first race suggests Isaac Morris should have more pace. We shall see what will happen there. But also look at Darius Andre. Darius Andre, I believe only was P7 or P8 in race 1, but now he's in P4 again. Never count out Darius Andre, because he was the championship leader. I believe he lost the championship lead after race 1, which should now be Scott Mitchell who's leading the championship. But of course Darius is still there, close there, and P4 at least would be very good for him.
Definitely, just to say as well, in that last lap, Isaac Morris going half a second quicker than the top 2, and dragging Darius Andre along with him as well. So these top 4 here now getting very close together. Jack Nicholls, like I say, not quite able to run away with it. Obviously not helped by the fact that Luke Mitchell hasn't been battling like we've had in the past for the leaders, but top 4 all within DRS of each other. And Isaac Morris, I've got to say, is on a mission here to get his first win in the career ladder. So looking further back, we've got Tom Parker and Valtteri De Bruyne side by side into turn 12. De Bruyne just holding on to that. Parker not able to do anything there.
Well, we've got, let's see, Chris Gitzoff did retire from the race. We now have got Jessica Pelletier now in P31, as he was up a bit higher, but she's now in P31.
Yeah, so unfortunately, just gone for a spinner actually, as you said that.
Well, we've got a move for P2. It's Isaac Morris to P2. It looks so easy when Isaac Morris goes for it, gets DRS and passes now for P2. And now Isaac Morris sees the prize, the golden prize, the king's prize. And can he go one higher? Can he go for the win? If he can, he will of course be ecstatic. But let's first see if he can get closer to Jack Nicholls.
Yeah, like I said in race 1, he's definitely the kind of driver that will be doing whatever he can to get that P1. I noticed as well his lap time very consistent. It was only 0.003 off as fastest lap there on that previous lap, while overtaking Mitchell as well, who goes for a spin there into turn 10, or a half spin. Slightly blocked Darius actually because of that. I'll see through no fault of his own, so Darius not quite able to easily pass him, but he's gotten around the outside here, potentially into turn 11. They go side by side. Luke Mitchell just about hold on to that. Slight bit of wheel banging, but ooh, Darius there maybe should have eked his nose out a little bit, but they both make it through cleanly.
Yeah.
So as Luke Mitchell makes another mistake there in turn 13, Darius is on him going into the final corner. Who could break the latest? Darius there.
Darius to P3, but now we've got the battle for the lead. It's Isaac Morris. He will now have DRS. Can he pass for the leads? Can he do it? His car is fastest, get the DRS, getting the slipstream. Now goes gaining. And his break later, he's going into the lead. It's Isaac Morris. Takes the lead for Nova Finlandia. Now he is now past Jack Nicholls. will Jack Nicholls, will he counter-attack? Now he's got DRS, can he counter-attack?
He's going to have a look at it, but nope, not quite close enough. I think Jack Nicholls probably quite happy where he is anyway. Saw in Australia he didn't really go for any rash moves while on his way to eventual victory. So maybe he's quite happy just to follow Isaac here, who is very clearly on the pace right now.
And I know it's early days in the championship, but if you are Jack Nicholls, I think you also want to look at the total standings, and if you can get another P2, that will of course mean 17 points added at this race. So I guess you always want to win, but you also want to do good job in the championship. So I guess he will be trying to get as close as he can to Isaac, but if he can't pass, I think Jack Nicholls is a guy that will be smart about it.
Yeah, definitely. He's actually not dropped back from Isaac too much on this lap, and has a pretty decent gap at Darius Andre. So yeah, I imagine he'll be thinking it through.
Well, we've got a move for P7. No, not quite. It was Maciej Sandak, who has actually also had a pretty good start, who's now in P8 and is battling with Walter de Bruin in P7. You just see Walter de Bruin doesn't have the top pace the other runners have, so he's making the best of it. Well, now I've got Maciej Sandak, who's trying to overtake. Will brake later around the outside. Can he make it stick? No, not quite.
Oh, de Bruin there with a slight wiggle on exit, but still got it in turn 3. But Sandak will have the DRS. Let's go have a look around the outside at turn 4. Seeing it's not really worked so far, and no, he's not close enough quite to have a look. He gets a switchback there. No, not quite able to make that work.
Well, we've got a few more people retiring from the race. We've got Adrian Faber out of the race. That's a big shame from him. And we have, unfortunately, Jessica Pelletier retiring from the race. So means we've got 29 drivers still left, with Mike Bell in 29th position. Oh, and we now have got Justin van der Smissen retiring. That's one Alpha Delta out.
Yeah, it's a shame to see, especially for Faber there. Obviously after such a good race one, not too sure what happened there, but not great stuff. Obviously his teammate as well, Chris Gitsoff, also out. So yeah, not a good race too there for Valet.
Yeah, well, we've got a battle between Mateusz Guzowski and Maciej Sandak, and I believe that's the Polish battle. I believe I heard those two, Maciej Guzowski and Maciej Sandak. I believe they are related. I believe they are cousins, but I'm not sure. So kind of interesting. They meet it on the track. So good and interesting. We've now got Fabian Roots. Now he's trying to overtake Mateusz Guzowski. He's got quite a bit of straight line speed. Can he do it? He looks like he can do it, but your next corner is going to the left, and Mateusz Guzowski stays ahead. We've got a battle for P5. It's Dylan Platt against Tom Parker. Dylan Platt seems to be making the move next to each other now. Tom Parker stays ahead for now. What's about the next corner? No, Tom Parker still stays ahead. Actually, I expected more from Tom Parker, but I'm not sure if he had an incident in one of the first laps, because he looked quite racy at the opening lap, but now lost a bit out on.
Yeah, I think he must have just ended up tripping up with someone at the start, because he did make up quite a few positions, then dropped back slightly, but up into P5 now. Decent gap ahead of Philippe Mitchell, but I think P5 after obviously a disappointing end to race 1, he'll be happy with as long as he can defend it from Dylan Platt, who's very close there.
Did you notice who's now in P17, Josh? Only P17.
Scott Mitchell, yes. The guys in front of him as well, getting very racy. High Sonveld there, off at turn 11. It's allowed him through into P16. Potentially on the back of Kevin Morgul here to take some point, or 1 point it would be for P15. Obviously not able to do it there. Normally an overtake spot anyway. got a good run here, and it'll be, I guess, setting up for DRS down the main straight. Behind him as well, Maximilian Junger. Obviously, for Nova Finlander, his teammate currently leading the race.
Yeah.
But Scott Mitchell, he's not quite seemingly got the straight on speed. Actually, Kevin Morville pulling away from him down the straight there. About Slipstream man in front of him as well. Magnussen, and 2 miles round at turn 1. He ends up cutting the corner there after a little bit of a hit. And Scott Mitchell not able to make the move there on Kevin Morville.
Yeah, and Dylan Platt overtook Tom Parker for P5.
Scott Mitchell there. Very, quite a big lunge there into turn 4. Makes it stick. And he gets points. Unfortunately, he takes that single point away from sim racing guys, who, like we said, would very much like that at the moment. Behind him as well, Jake Dennehan. Didn't realise down in 21st. Very messy there with Junger, who I was talking about. But just about, again, all still pointing forwards. Not sure what happened to Dennehan, obviously, with a very good race 1, but this is what happens in race 2. You end up in the pack, and it's very difficult to get your way through.
I hope we can go back to the leader in a short while, because we're talking about a lot of fights, but Isaac Morris just walks away with it. I believe he now got a 2-second lead on Jack Nichols, and it is looking better and better for Isaac Morris.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting as well, so Jack Nichols has obviously dropped back a tiny bit to 2 seconds, but he's kept around a 2-second gap as well to Darius Andre behind, which I've got to say is potentially a bit surprising considering Andre was very quick in Australia last time out, obviously beat them on track, but Jack Nichols doing a very good job here. Like we said, maybe just playing it smart, not quite pushing or over pushing to try and catch Isaac, who I've got to say is sort of claimed this or controlled this at the moment, and doing a good job to just keep that P2 for now. Behind we've got Fabian Rufen, Zalski there side by side in the S's. Not quite, just about staying on track, both of them. Roof not able to make the overtake work.
We already are 10 laps into this race, so it's going quite fast. But the last laps cannot go fast enough for Isaac Morris, because, I know from experience that if you're leading with a few laps to go, those last few laps are feeling so long, especially when when this is a potential first win. You just know that, it's so long, and you hope everything will be okay, will not lose connection, will not make any mistakes or sudden grip losses. I actually don't think Isaac is worrying too much, but I think it can pass his mind at the moment, because he looks good, while Jack Nichols, I believe, went off track for a bit, but still he's in P2.
He has dropped back about a second to Isaac, and that means DRS has closed in by about a second, very almost at DRS.
Well, we've got Mathieu Sandak now going for P7, and in front we've got Tom Parker going for P5. Let's see what can happen. Tom Parker seems to make the job done, and also Mathieu Sandak moves to P7. So it's now Tom Parker in P5, Dylan Platt in P6. Dylan Platt is trying to counter-attack. Can he do it? Not yet, yes, but he's got the cutback, and he gets P5 back from Tom Parker. Impressive.
Yeah, you had 3 pairs of battling there, without De Bruyne and Kozlowski, and then behind him as well. Sandak and De Bruyne, and then Kozlowski and Roof, all going, or all 3 pairs going for very similar moves at turn 1 and 4. And in all of them, the original leading driver stayed in front.
Yeah.
Although Dylan Platt there runs slightly wide into turn 10, it's got to allow Tom Parker up the inside with the DRS to take P5.
Yeah.
And it's slightly, got that into turn 11.
Tom Parker exactly knows how to position the car, so when he got the run on Dylan Platt, you just knew he could potentially make it stick, and he did for P5.
Exactly.
Well,
This is a perfect case of the experience of Tom Parker and the kind of fresh
I
pace of Dylan Platt.
I'm fearing for second position at the moment because it looks like Jack Nicholls doesn't have the pace, and Darius Andre actually looks quite racy at the moment.
Yeah, I think actually just through his time, Jack Nicholls, maybe his tyres slightly dropping off. Like say he had that one lap where he did have a corner cut, had his lap time invalidated, and since then as well, his lap times have been slowly falling. So maybe losing a bit of grip there, allowing Darius to close in. Meanwhile, Platt and Parker at turn 1 again. Platt.
And now
Platt does not want to give up the C5.
Yeah, Maciej Sandak joined the battle, and he
Yeah,
thinks
I like
okay.
it, 3 wide.
Smart with it.
Right.
Oh, and Maciej Sandak, will he do the unthinkable? Can he make it 3 wide there? No. He was really smart of it, and he fought to get both drivers at once. Oh, we've got Dylan Platt going off, thinking better of it, and he loses 3 positions here. Yeah, 3 positions, goes from P5 to P8. We still got Tom Parker in P5, and now Maciej Sandak in P6. Can we have a P4, P5 potentially for Downforce Racing? Those would be a load of points if they can do that. And Maciej Sandak looks racy at the end of this race, and yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, they'll be very happy with that. Even a 4-6 would be very good for them. Just to say as well with Dylan Platt, obviously losing out the positions there, but he did a very good job to rejoin safely after going off track, causing any incident like we saw in race 1. Say that, I think I just hear some incident happening. Further back, we've got Jake Dennehan off and without a front wing, so not sure what happened there. I'll have a look back at that, see what happened. Yeah, unfortunately, we just had looks like a Nova Finlandia car. I'll see the replay now on the screen for you. See the Nova Finlandia car in front, unfortunately spinning, and Dennehan nowhere to go there. And unfortunately collects in. Meanwhile, we've got actually Maciej Sandak now making a move on Tom Parker at turn 1. Wasn't able to make it stick there, but DRS into turn 4, as we've seen many times this round, and not quite able to do it. Looks switch back, but Tom Parker placing his car perfectly there to cut that one off. And as well behind, Fabian Ruth has finally made it through on Gzowski. Obviously that was a very hard fought battle for them too. And Mike Quint as well in P11 actually. So good stuff there for him, like we said in before the round. He's got a lot of potential, or can potentially have very good races, and yeah, making his way into the points here. Got Mitchell as well up to P13, so maybe not quite as good as race 2 as he would have been hoping for after that race 1 well, domination, you have to say, but still point would be good.
And now Darius Andre gets really close, but actually run wide in one of the corners just now. We've got 1 lap to go for Isaac Morris. Can he win his first race for himself, but also for the team Nova Finlandia? Would be something. Well, we've got a battle now for P2. Darius Andre is gaining, with Jack Nicholls weaving. He's going for it, braking later, turning in. You hit a bit of the wrong part of them, there, my friend. Oh, and Darius goes off again. He's going off again. Keep it on the grey stuff, Darius. Keep it on the grey stuff. Because this is no rallycross. This is Formula driving, Formula racing. So he's still battling for it. And look, Mitchell, he is not close enough at the moment.
No, well, we've got as well. Just had 5th down to 8th, all having another scrap into turn 1. All keeping it well, clean enough. They all survived it, but we've now got Parker P5, Sandak P6, De Bruyne P7, and Platt P8 still. Darius Andre here, very close into turn 10 with the DRS. Really, you've got to say this is one of the last places, not quite close enough. It's going to have to do a very good job to keep close to him with the dirty air into these fast corners to potentially make a move into the final corner. And we're back as well.
We're close at the end, and Isaac Morris seems to be doing the job. He will win the second race of the evening. I think, yeah, he waited long for this. He really wanted to get the win, and now he gets the win from, yeah, a very good second race. He gets the win, and he will be ecstatic. Isaac Morris wins.
Yeah, he's got the run on Jack Nicholls, but I think the line is going to come
Jack
too
Nicholls
quickly.
P2.
Jack Nicholls takes that P2.
And Darius P3 with Luke Mitchell P4, Tom Parker gets P5 with Maciej Sandak in P6, with Walter de Bruin in P7, well done Walter, with P8 from Dylan Platt, P9 from Fabian Root, with 10th for Mateusz Guzowski, so also a load of points for Thunderdog this time around. Mike Quint, P11, with Diogo Moscato in P12, with Scott Mitchell ending up in P13, Tom van der Voort in P14, and the last position in the points is for Mikael Tumala.
Yeah, some very, very interesting stuff there. Again, unfortunately, sim racing guys not able to get that point, just 8 tenths off it, but at the front, big story, Isaac Morris there, very, very good driver from him. First podium was in race 1 in the career ladder, and now his first win in race 2 with a very controlled drive. Jack Nicholls as well did well to hold off Andre at the end there, take P2 for another very good round for Kings Racing. Obviously Scott Mitchell win in race 1. Doris Andre, so he potentially lost the driver's standings lead in this round, but still with a podium, so he's still going to be up there and looking to carry it on for the rest of the season. Luke Mitchell, very good stuff to take P4, so he's still very new to the league series. Good stuff there from him. Parker P5, Maciej Sandak P6 for a strong round for downforce. Walter de Bruin, like you say, obviously got that reverse grid pole and did well with it to take P7. Dylan Platt P8, Fabian Roof P9, and Paris Zowski rounds out the top 10. And looking further down, Mike Quint, like I say, I believe they're his first points of the season in P11. Diego Moscato P12. Scott Mitchell, like I said, maybe slightly disappointing in race 2 results-wise, but it still points to the team and still points to him. So good stuff there. Tom van der Voort makes his way after DNF in race 1. It's a great job to get P14 there. Michael Tumala, P15 for Cap Clay. And looking down, or further down, Cesar Ferreira there for Deltec. Not the best of rounds for them. Obviously, with one of their drivers not able to make it, and Jessica Pliete stepping in for race 2. But still, at least they had both cars on the grid for race 2. So all you can really ask for. And you got to say, a disappointing race 2 there for Abstinio Force Polonia as well. They were potentially in or are looking to be potentially in a team standings fight this season, but both cars DNF in there. I'll have to look back at what happened, but I believe really their own fault for all of it, but still disappointing for them. And Mass as well for Frelik, going to be disappointed with that. And also Faber for Valley Esports, obviously on the podium in race 1, DNF in 2.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to see that some people just were really unlucky today. So yeah, I think Mamas, I expected more. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, still.
Exactly. This sets us up though quite excitingly, I guess, in the standings. Obviously, Isaac Morris and the drivers will be shooting up the order after not scoring points in round 1, and Kings Racing, you've got to say, probably holding on to that team standings lead. Good stuff from them. TSS
Yeah.
off as well. Obviously, still be up there with a strong round from Andre and a strong round from Denahan to redeem round 1. So set up for a very exciting season, I have to say.
Yeah, very exciting season. I believe it is Darius Andre who now leads the championship with 59 points, with Scott Mitchell in 50 points, if I counted it correctly. So that's at least what I counted that fast. So yeah, I believe
Okay.
that's now the case.
Very interesting. But we're here for an interview with, like I said, Isaac Morris getting his first podium of the career ladder in race 1, and then his first win of the career ladder in race 2. Isaac, I can predict your answer already, but how does it feel after a round like that?
Feels pretty damn good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You had well, talk us through that great battle you had with Adrian Faber in race 1. Obviously trying a lot of different moves, and eventually it paid off.
So yeah, me and Faber were like on a very similar pace, and it was literally just back and forth. It was ping and pong basically, and I knew I kind of had the pace over him because of slipstream and all that, and I just knew I was a little bit more confident on the brakes than him, and that's why I was like sizing up the move over a couple of laps. Yeah, to be honest, I can't really remember what happened. I know there's a bit of like bumping and stuff, and there was. I think it was all fair though. I did hit him up the rear wing at one point, and I saw him go wide, so I was like, oh, I'll just give back the position, just to be fair. And yeah, that was pretty much it really. And then he overcooked into turn 1, and I just got the switch back on him, and that was it. That was the end of that really.
Yeah,
pulled away.
Very good stuff. Like you say, yeah, it was. I mean, from what I saw, it's very, very good racing between you two. Very respectful, just about giving each other the kind of room you need. So yeah, and then race 2, obviously you sort of had what most drivers would dream of. I mean, you had an amazing lap 1 in both races. To be honest, making up a lot of position, and once you got into that lead in race 2, you sort of just were able to control it and pull away from Jack Nicholls.
Yeah, it was the starts. I don't know what I was doing. I was just getting excellent grip on the launch, and I think I was timing the lights out really well. And I think that played to my advantage big time. Because as the lights went out, I was pulling off, and people were slowly starting to get away, and I was like, this is when I knew I had a chance of gaining quite a few positions, especially in race 2, because everyone's so like tiptoeing into turn 1. Like, you can take advantage of that big time if you know you're going to be confident on the brakes, and you can find a hole to put your car in, and just hope that everyone else around you gives you the space that you need. And luckily that's what happened.
Yeah, that's very good stuff then. Well, Menno, that was a very, very interesting round of racing.
Yeah, it was.
Would you even be able to summarize what happened there?
Yeah, well, like always, a lot of drama. But overall, it was really, really interesting fighting. I think we saw some people we expected to be at front who were not that good in the end. I believe people like Bjorn Branton, expected a lot from him after his qualifying, and he didn't really show that today. And also other people looked pretty good. And it's good. Good for team SRG or Sim Racing guys who finished in P16 in race 2. So no points for that team after 2 rounds. Unfortunately, they just missed out. But overall, I think we had some nice racing and some not that nice racing. And we shall see what the penalties bring in 2 weeks if there will be penalties. So we will see what happens then. But overall, I think we had some really good racing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Well, like you touched on there, you can join us in 2 weeks' time for the next round of Formula Challenge in Shanghai. The first race back at Shanghai since it left the calendar after 2018. So there'll be not many drivers here that have actually raced there. So that'll be quite interesting to see how they adapt to that. But yeah, like I say, that'll be in 2 weeks' time. Until then, we've got Super Cup on Thursday, and then Super League Lights and Super League next week. Also at Bahrain. So until then, we'll see